John 1:1 is very dramatically mistranslated in many translations today. There are 40 translations in the English language since the Reformation, and 8 English translations from the Greek which do not read, "In the beginning was the Word was with God, and all things were made through Him." That Him is illicit. It's not what the Greek says. The word logos is masculine grammatically, but anybody who knows anything about language knows that grammatical gender and sexual gender are not the same thing. So only if you've decided that John wrote, "In the beginning was the Son, and the Son was the Father," only if you've already decided on that point is it legitimate to say all things were made through Him, the Son. But the text doesn't say that. Scholars know well that wisdom and Torah and Word are ways of expressing God's mind, God's thought, God's plan, God's gospel. In the beginning was God's wisdom, His mind, His intention, His blueprint, and that wisdom was with God. A very Jewish way of saying that it was the thing calling forth His maximum concern. Just like Galatians 2:5, where we find that Paul says the gospel is to remain with you, pros, the same pronoun exactly. The gospel, exactly the same idea as in John 1, is to remain pros, with the accusative, with the believers. That's not person with person, that's gospel with a person. John doesn't say that the Word was a separate person. It's God's Word, the mind, the intention of the Father, and that was with Him. All things are made through that wisdom Word, through that Torah. And eventually in verse 14, that Torah wisdom Word, which was not yet the Son of God, became the Son of God at the birth, the coming into existence of Jesus in 1:14. Now we're finding harmony precisely with Matthew 1 and Luke 1, where clearly the virginal begetting of the Son in the womb of His mother is the beginning, the coming into being. And now, of course, means to cause to come into existence, to cause to come into being. That beginning of the existence of the Son is found there in Luke 1 and Matthew 1, and equally with John, who agreed with him entirely, in John 1:1 and John 1:14. That's where the Word, God's Word, became embodied in a human being, the Son of God. But there's no Son of God until His begetting in the womb. Now everything is in beautiful harmony.